Whether you're a suburban athlete or an Olympic champion, you've got to work hard to get results. We've put over 15 years' experience into developing Active Man, combining vitamins, minerals and proteins. Active Man helps provide you with the nutrients you need to optimize performance and assist recovery. Discover the Active Man range, now available. Active Man, power up.
Welcome to this week's Power Progress podcast, and I've had a few weeks off due to respect of the Majesty of the Queen. It was actually the funeral just this week, but I've left it for good reason, because I have an amazing guest speaker, interesting character, that is Chet, who's currently has his book out. It's actually worldwide right now, he's having meetings all over the place, but I'll bring him in first. How you doing, mate? You good?
Yes, I'm all good, yeah. Cheers, Nathan.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got talking, didn't we? And obviously you told me about some of your insight of, you know, the challenges you've had in your life. And am I right, you've been in prison 3 times total, haven't you?
Yes.
So I think we'll start off with, you started in the British prison, was that correct?
No, started off in Spain.
Oh, that was...
Well, no, British at first, yes. That was when I was just young, but that was just like a remand period. I was only there for like a little while. That was just for fraud, in London.
Yeah.
And I was in Brixton jail, yeah.
And that was only a short period, was it?
That was just like a week, remand.
How did you find that in terms of being in for that week? Was it still quite a challenge at that point?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible, yeah. It was the first, my experience, I was only 21.
Yeah.
Everybody around me was older, they were all big guys, bam, huge. It was 23 hour bang up for the whole week, so I didn't, which was a good thing anyway, because I didn't really want to be out there anyway. Because I felt vulnerable at that time. I was young and I didn't really know where I was. It was like a shock to the system. Yeah.
And obviously you're a fit lad now, super fit, you're always training quite a lot, and it's a big part of your lifestyle. And a lot of this principle, if you like, with fitness come about the second time you went in, am I right in saying that?
The principle came from when I used to train on the out as well.
Yeah. Before
I went in, I was a keen bodybuilder then, so I used to train then hard. I used to take steroids at that time. Performance enhancing everything, boom, I was bang into it, and so I got to know training that way, and I was training with a lot of other people who were big and strong, they were young, so I learned of all these people in the period before I went to jail my second time.
Yeah, and obviously you would have been using a gym, assuming, at that point?
At this point, yes, we were using a gym here in Gateshead.
Yeah. So obviously everything would have been based around equipment, what you would have used, which was there, which is interesting because you didn't have that. You never had that facility when you were there.
No, not in Spain. No, in Spain it was Category A, had top security, only 40 people on the wing. We were considered dangerous, so we weren't allowed to have any sort of metal bars or steel or anything like that around us. There was a gym there, what we were supposed to be allowed to use. That was once a week, but there was 4 screws that had to take us, but they couldn't be bothered to take us because they had to go there and it would take them an hour and they had to stand around with us, so they just did it about once a month. So really we just got to use the gym, and that was just basics as well, you know. There was just 2 benches there, 2 barbells, dumbbells, a few, and that was about it.
Right.
Yeah, so that was basic, and that's supposed to be the gym.
Yeah, and that's only if you can get in there.
And that's only if you can get in there,
Yeah, well, so therefore, I'm assuming you really had to start thinking creatively what you could do.
Yes. Because down there in jail, if you're not given them facilities, you just go down the other road and start taking drugs. Then you get involved in the drug culture there, and that's not what I wanted to do. I did go down the road at first, but that was only a short period, and I turned it around fast. Because I went in about 16.5 stone, I went down to about 12.5 stone.
Wow.
In 3 months.
Yeah.
In 3 months, that was through taking drugs, not training, not eating, not doing anything. So I just lost serious weight there, and that affected me, and I didn't feel good in myself, so I knew I had to turn it around.
Yeah.
So there was like a little hall area next to where the screws office is. It was really smallish, but that's where they used to keep all the bleach, broom shanks, the cleaning stuff, the mops, blah blah blah, bin bags. So I figured a way of making weights by getting the gallon bottles of bleach when they're empty, fill them again full of water, accordingly to weight. You know, you can have like that much in it, you can have
Yeah.
that much water in it, or you can fill it right to the top. But when it's half full, it's hard to monitor. And I used to use these as like a weight,
Yes.
a bin bag around the handle, and boom, tie it around, and you can use that to
Wow.
like for
Yeah.
curling,
Yeah.
for boom triceps, for even on the bench press. We used to get 3 broom shanks, 3 of them, tape them together, and that was strong enough for a barbell.
Wow. That's brilliant.
So you could do shoulder presses when
Yeah.
you've got water.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it's very hard to like, but that's how I turned it all around. And resistance training also, like where you get somebody to train with, and he holds a towel even,
Yeah.
towel, and you can curl, bicep curl with that. And after a while, you get to know each other's strengths and how they want it.
Yeah.
And so you can do it good. So it's like, and plus he's working out at the same time because he's holding it back, and you're pulling it. So you're both working it.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. And that's with no equipment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was where your resistant weight training, you obviously got creative and used that. But my relation with that would be when I was in lockdown and I just had these simple dumbbells and I had to start thinking, using my body weight to
Yeah.
manipulate it and
Yes,
stuff
yes,
like that.
yeah.
Cardio-wise, was it the chores what you had to do in prison got a lot of cardio in with that?
Cardio, no, you could walk around the yard.
Yeah.
You could run around the yard. That's it basically,
Yeah.
running. Punch bag I made up.
Yeah.
We had a big sack there, it was like an old army bag. We had blankets, we just filled it full of blankets, tied it to the wall. There was a fastening there for a bag. We tied it on there, but you had to take it easy on there because it wasn't the strongest, you know.
Yeah.
But it was for movement and out, you know.
Right, yeah.
We used to spar there every day, train with the weights first, and then spar, and then train with the boxing, and then walk the yard.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a full day of training, about 3 to 4 hours.
Well, and I guess that kept you sane, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Must
you
have just
have
kept
to.
your mind.
You have to just focus on that because there's nothing else.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, again, going back to before, because it sounds like you got almost your friends around you. How did that come about when you went in and you managed to get these? How many friends did you have in there? Was it quite?
Well, in Spain.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
Spain, I didn't have any friends there.
Yeah.
I was the only English person in there. There was people from South America, Europe, all over, Switzerland, France, Spain, Portugal. There was, who else was in there? Moroccans, Algerians, Nigeria. There was people from all over the world. It was just the heavy people in there. They were all doing big ones, 30, 40,
Yeah.
50 year plus.
Yeah, and that was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, in Spain, yeah.
So the second one was the British one, and
It
that
was in England.
So how does it work meeting people in there? Is it a case of you just connect with people the same way as out here? Or
Well, in Spain it was totally different because I didn't know the language.
Yeah, of course.
Right,
Yeah.
so there I had no friends. I had to learn a language, or try and hook up with somebody who knows a little bit of English.
Right. Okay.
So there was a couple of lads there from Algeria. They lived in Holland, cocaine dealers, and they could speak a little bit. So that's who you go to. You just go to who will accept you and who will speak to you. And the jail in England, I did 7 years after that one. And there, a lot of people knew who I was already here in England.
Right. Yeah.
They knew who I was, so it was like a totally different effect. The gyms there, they have a gym available there, and you're allowed to use that for 4 to 5 times a week, I think.
Oh well, and that's how you managed to partner up and do the resistant training. Then.
No, well that was in Spain.
Ah, so you still managed to connect enough to.
In Spain,
to
yes,
go
yes,
within
yes,
a training.
yes, because there's other people who say, okay, I see what you're doing here with all the
Yeah.
weights. Okay, I want to train as well. So really, at first, there was nobody there who used to train.
Yeah.
Nobody. They used to walk the yard. Boom, that was it. But when I did that, at the peak, we could get about 10 to 12 heads in there.
Yes.
Out of 40,
Yeah.
which is a lot. You
That's
know?
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, and they all wanted to do a bit, you know, because they all thought, right, okay, he's made all these barrels, all these thingies, all these shanks, all this squatting. Somebody used to sit on our shoulders and put hands against the wall, and then we just go like that. And plus, he can put his hands on the wall, and he can hold himself up a little bit as well, so he can adjust the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So although you never used to communicate as such with language, you at least
Yeah.
could see this is what you're doing, and they all wanted to join in with
Yes, I did. Yes, and I did change it. And the gym instructor, she was a woman, She's the one who we used to see when we were allowed to go to the outside gym.
Yeah.
And not the outside gym, the gym outside our wing.
Yeah.
And she's seen what I did there, and so I asked her for like boxing gloves and a bit more equipment, soft stuff, you know.
Yeah,
And she goes, right, okay, I see what you're doing. I see all these people now training. They never used to before. So and then she arranged all the equipment for us. So
and they must have seen the difference in how they were as well. It must have calmed everyone down.
Well, the ones that used to train, because they could see progressing themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just sit around the yard, get stoned, try and get high, score, have a fight, do this, do that. That's all it's about. But if they're given stuff there, you can take your mind off that, because even the library was shit. There was no English books there.
Yeah.
There was books there for like 5-year-olds. It was like Cat in a Hat and that, you know. I went to the library because I wanted to get out first. I thought, yeah, they haven't even got any fucking books in English here. It was like kids' books, stuff that's 20-year-old and stuff like that. And this is back in 1998. So I just had to do something, otherwise I was just going down the same road as everybody else in there. Yeah.
So when you went in there, you were 16 stone, did you say?
Yeah.
And you dropped down to 12 and a half.
12 and a half, yeah.
From building all these resistance up, was it more of a case that did you slowly build muscle?
Yes, I did, yes.
Yeah.
I dropped that 12 and a half. And the food in the jail as well was bad. Terrible. But how I built the food, first I never ate because it was terrible, shit, horrible. I just used to eat a little bit, keep me alive probably. And then I thought, no, I have to get my head around this. And so I said I was a Muslim. And the Muslims used to get rabbit and chicken twice more than everybody else, yes. Halal meat. So I said I was a Muslim, so this is how I got the extra meat. And the gypsies who used to hand out all the food, I got friendly with them.
Yeah.
And any extra food, they used to give it to me. But it's Spain, and so I used to have chicken portions extra, this extra.
Yeah.
And so what I used to do is keep them outside the bars in my window cell, which is a bit cooler because there was a draft. And I used to like eat them over 3 days. Even though it like stunk sometimes, protein, it's still protein, and I still like ate it, and got myself back up to about 14 and a half stone.
That's amazing.
And that was a good weight then, because I was like trim at that weight, you know, which is about what I am now. I'm a little bit more now, but I'm just a little bit less than what I am now, which is alright for shit food and no gym.
That's quite impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you didn't happen to have was it rabbit and chicken, did you say?
Rabbit and chicken, yeah.
If you didn't have that, what would the whole day consist of food wise? What would you
Food
normally
was
get?
right. Morning you just get like just like a piece of bread with some jam. That's
Bread
it.
and jam?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just like one roll. And then at dinner time you get fed. It was mainly stews.
Stews.
Yeah,
okay.
it's mainly a stew, like a soupy thing.
I suppose it's
Spanish,
chicken,
chorizo, because you can make a lot, because water in it, it's water based. And what else? I can't remember anything nice. I can't remember anything. More bread.
Yeah.
There was
What about
bread.
evening? Would have been like things like paella and things like that?
Paella, yeah. Yes, they used to give that out, but it was just like a mush.
Yeah.
Full of oil. You would just like pick out the tasty bits, but they weren't even tasty then.
Spanish omelettes?
No, nothing like that. No, it was just like stew. What else do we used to get there? I'm just trying to think. Veg, but it was just all mush.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. It was just like that. But you could buy your own food.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a little shop there, tuna you could buy.
Okay.
You could buy tuna and water, toothpaste, shampoo, cigarettes, coffee.
And how would the currency work? What would you earn it in there? Is that how it works?
You get money sent into you.
Right.
Yeah, so then you're allowed to spend that money, and then
as in family sends it in.
Yeah.
So it's only if your family member will send you, and
Send you
I'm
money.
guessing there's only so much they can give you.
Yes. We had a limit, 2,000 pesetas a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would that get you in there, for example?
So that would give you, if you got that, you could use a phone. Well, mainly went on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that be enough just to give you a phone call?
Well, a few phone calls.
Yeah.
A few phone calls, and then you have to budget your money.
Wow.
You know, yeah. Like the water there as well in Spain. You're not supposed to drink out of tap, but At first, I didn't have no money. The system takes ages for you to get processed, so I had to drink water out of the tap.
Yeah.
And then I was like sick. I was getting the shits, blah blah blah.
Yeah. It's different
For
to
about
what it is now, isn't it?
no, for about 12 days. But then my body became accustomed to it,
Yeah.
and I could drink that water. So now I go abroad, I could drink any water, and I couldn't anywhere,
Yeah.
dirty or anything. Boom, and I don't get ill. Because it does strengthen the immune system, and I ate the worst of the worst of the food.
Yeah.
Worst of the worst. Moldy, this, that, boom, I ate it, and now I never get ill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to put bacteria inside yourself.
It just shows, doesn't it?
like,
You've got to put your body through it.
Yeah,
You know, it's that damage and repair, isn't it? Providing you're repairing,
Yes.
then you're alright. It's obviously if you
Yes.
get ill and get worse.
Yeah.
So that's just what I find fascinating for someone who's listening in, is the fact that, you know, you hear people going, I'm hungry. You know?
Yeah,
Are they really hungry?
No, they're not really hungry. That's just
know?
rubbish. No.
How much you
You
can
don't need
survive
food.
on?
Yeah. It's just water, really.
Yeah. And you could, obviously, when you started cheating the system a little bit and going towards a rabbit and chicken,
Yeah.
how did you feel a boost from not having that level of
Oh
protein?
yes. It gave me more energy. I could see a shape of my body coming back to what it was.
Yeah.
You know, because I needed that. Otherwise, it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen on that watery stew.
Of course it's not.
No.
It's the building blocks, isn't it? It's what's going to build you.
Yes.
And I bet you felt full on it,
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
But yet people take it for granted, the importance of having protein
Yes.
in their diet. And probably don't need as much as maybe they say.
No.
But just the fact that you've pretty much, well, it sounds like you pretty much went without just the bread, jam in the morning, and maybe a stew would have some protein in it. Maybe from the lentils.
Potatoes. Potatoes or something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And in the evening, whatever they chucked at you, your body had to make it from maybe plant protein.
Yes. Yeah.
And then obviously the workouts, because you never had much else to do, you got creative and created these workouts which you done daily, which you built your community from really, from having the workouts, and that was kind of your level of survival, coming out fitter.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's just one part of the story from the book. I don't know if you want to explain a bit more about your book.
The book is about from when I was 3 years old. It takes me to 2002 when I came out of that sentence. It's just the progress of my life, what made me be the person that I am, really. Yeah, it's just like all stages. And if you read the book, you can realise why all these stages are quite harsh all the way through. And if you get harshness, it does make yourself a bit harsh at first, you know, but then there's a turning around point as well, you know. So now it's all good. Writing books now, podcasts, the works, got a CBD company which also helps people. Alpha, it's called, and that's doing a lot of good as well. That's like for your joints, your bone system, for muscle recovery. There's a lot of MMA fighters who take it because they say they can train for longer on it. They can kick higher on it, they say. They can kick harder on it.
Because it must drop information.
It must do something,
So that must all contribute. And like what though, mate, it's been great to have you. Obviously I'm going to leave all the details underneath if you want to contact Chet in any sort of way, but download his book, I'll leave the link. Is that on Amazon?
Yes. Self-made, Jews paid.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, no
So I'll
problem.
put all that on there. Nice to see you, mate.
Okay, Nate, nice one. Okay guys,
Catch
cheers
you
mate,
later.
thank you.